What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and we're here for Disney's Winnie the Pooh. No, Christopher Robin.
There you go. But we're gonna go travel back to the 100-acre woods. We're gonna peel back the tree and say
Piglet.
hello to what's up, old Pooh Bear. Oh,
Tigger.
Yeah, Tigger.
Eeyore. Owl.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Kanga.
Kanga.
Roo. All the whole gang.
Let's
and of
go.
course, Christopher Robin.
Yes.
So I guess the question is, what would happen in a world in where Christopher Robin grew up? And that's what this movie kind of is surrounded by. And really quick before going into it, I just want to say this was directed by the guy who did World War Z and Quantum Solace, the 007 movie. So very different.
Which is weird.
Which is yeah, for sure. Definitely weird for his taste, but you could tell by the trailer, like it looks a little little dark, a little somber. What were your thoughts? So you have at the helm Christopher Robin. You got
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, and then you have Jim Cummings, of course, doing the voice of Tigger and Winnie the Pooh, who's been doing it for years. And years.
In my personal, humble opinion, one of the most beautiful women, Hayley Atwell.
Yep, we got
Captain America's girlfriend. Let's go.
You got a cast, and you got
and she's in Black Mirror.
Characters that everybody loves, and what we do know is that Disney is on this thing right now where they're like,
live
what
action.
Can we do? Live action.
Let's go.
So. After watching Christopher Robin, not to be confused with Goodbye Christopher Robin, which we
Margot
watched
Robbie.
last year with General Hux, whose name's escaping me, and his real name is escaping. Don
Gleason.
Yeah. So Christopher Robin, what did you think?
Well, any scene with the animation, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
But when you add the story and all that, I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay.
It was okay. You know, it was good. I was entertained. One time watch. It definitely won't be a movie where I'm just like, oh my gosh, let's watch Christopher Robin. It's actually there's a lot. I feel like it really pulls your emotional heartstrings in this film. You know, there's a lot of sad moments into it, and then after you like TDS'd me on certain parts, it's like, yeah, that actually did make sense. So yeah, but I can say at least say I enjoyed it. And if you don't know what TDS means, get my book Mobilizing People.
Yeah, and I TDS'd you.
Sorry.
No, but what she was alluding to is the fact that we were talking about Piglet's voice, and Piglet always used to be my favorite character. A well-known actor from earlier in the days. He starred in a movie called 12 Angry Men, one of my favorite films of all time. He would end up going to become the voice of Piglet way back in the day, and this voice just did not sound like Piglet. But I did think Brad Garrett, you know, the brother on Everybody Loves Raymond, and he has a comedy club out here, who does the voice of Eeyore, does it really, really well. I mean, he has that kind of just deep voice in general, but he pulls it off.
Eeyore really is depressing.
Eeyore's great.
He really is. Holy crap.
He's probably the one character that made me laugh out loud in the movie. Just because he's funny. I mean, it's so funny because he's so depressed, and it's just so... I mean, but here, like, it kind of fits in the world because it is a kind of just a dreary
I wish
world.
I could do Mobilizing People, and it was just Eeyore and just getting him jacked up. That's what I wish I could do.
You couldn't do it, man. Couldn't get Eeyore. Maybe you
I would get Tigger checked up.
Yeah, oh yeah, Tigger for sure. We even got the Tigger song. Hopefully that's not considered a spoiler, but we get the Tigger song in here, which is really, really nice.
Animation was
I think well, one weird thing about the animation is that
that's what you're gonna say. Yeah.
The main four, you know, actually Kanga and Roo are like, they look like stuffed animal creatures, right? If we go back to the Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, we started at the windowsill of Christopher Robin, we we eventually saw all the characters, we jump into the book, and we jump into the world of the 100-acre woods and the actual 2D animation. But they were all stuffed animals, right? So the idea is that these are stuffed animals that Christopher Robin brought to life with his imagination. Now, in the movie, Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, Eeyore, and Kanga and Roo all look like stuffed animals that have come to life. They don't look like real creatures. But then Rabbit and Owl are actual rabbit, like a rabbit and an owl that looks super, super real. Like, to the point where like the veins are popping out of Rabbit's ears. So I was kind of confused by that choice. I don't necessarily know why they decided to do that. But it was just, for me, it was more little things like that that kind of just irked me. And I think the main issue is that it's too silly to be really kind of an adult movie like Goodbye Christopher Robin, or a movie that like adults can fully appreciate. I think that the sympathies there, like the whole idea of like, oh, Christopher Robin grew up and, you know, this is his childhood, remember your childhood, is there. I don't think it's just very presented very well, and I think and then the opposite sense, it's too dreary and kind of dark to be a kid's movie. Like, I don't know how many kids could actually sit through this and really enjoy it, you know. I mean, you have Obi-Wan coming out of World War II, it's some, post-traumatic stress, working in a luggage store, just kind of miserable and stuff like that, not getting to really hang out with his daughter and things like that.
Madeline.
But to go from there, I think that's where the movie just kept having me. I couldn't find the pulse. I couldn't find the rhythm, right? Like, it's like dancing to a song, but you're constantly missing the beats.
An Avicii song.
Yeah, where you just can't catch the beats. I think that's the best way to put it. And I think the weirdest choice was that these Winnie the Pooh and everyone is real.
Yeah.
So, like, other people can see them talking.
They move and stuff.
And once you take it out of Christopher Robin's imagination, it just kind of gets a little bit weird, because then we're in this world where these animals exist and they can do all these things, but yet they're the only characters that work. And I would have much rather it just been funny had behind the bench Chris Robin turns around and it's a stuffed bear to everyone else, but to him it's talking to him. I think you have a far more interesting movie that way. And of
then
course
he looks nuts though.
Well, but either way, it looks nuts. He's stuffing a cat in his. Either way, he looks.
And why
crazy.
did that guy need to play the?
Yo, let
Jim
me tell you,
Rummy
the one disappointing thing about this movie is my homeboy never gets to play Jim Rummy. Yeah, that didn't go anywhere. But and the movie, I don't think it needed to be an hour and 40 minutes. Actually, I don't think they had much for like a full movie here. It feels like they have the beginning and the setup right. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Winnie the Pooh and his friends come back to save Christopher Robin, who's lost his childhood innocence and like remembered how to have fun with his kid. And then the rest of the movie just kind of feels lazy and thrown together to get to an end that we all know where we're going to get to, and all sorts of things. So for me, it's not great. It's not awful. Like, it's not the worst movie you could see. I think there's of course, there are adorable Pooh parts. Everyone loves Pooh.
Best part was when Pooh is eating the honey, gets the honey into him, and then he's like walking off and there's honey getting him. That was awesome.
Yeah, Eeyore had some good jokes, man.
He did.
Like when
but it wasn't as good as what I just said.
No, man. When Eeyore's in the box, like, this is the darkness that I need to be in. He just kills it, man.
Dude, he's so like depressed, man. I feel horrible.
But like the whole heffalump part, I didn't think, like, I get it, but like, to me all those things just didn't work. And necessarily the jump of him being like, I need to get to work, I need to do these things. Well, first, him accepting Pooh coming back was, to me, was just a little bit too easy.
Yeah, now after you mentioned it, I was like, oh.
And then when he goes in there, like that whole transformation of him in the 100 Acre Woods and then going back to his old self, I think kind of came too simple, and like just, it didn't feel like the movie had a climax, right? Like usually movies grow, they hit, they go down. I don't think this movie really had that rhythm. I think it's just kind of like this the entire time, and I think that's kind of where I had issues with it. Again, not an awful movie, and I think if you love Winnie the Pooh, you'll enjoy the Pooh moments and the Eeyore and Tigger and all that, but I don't think there's much there.
Looks so old.
Yeah, Tigger did look old, man.
Old man.
No one else looked old.
No. They literally made him old and everyone else was normal.
But he's the most energetic of the bunch.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the whole Twitter, the whole Tigger song. But overall, I think it's a movie that I think people can go and kind of enjoy the nostalgia of it. But I think the nostalgia will only work once. I think you watch this movie again, I think you'll be able to kind of see through it a little bit more and just kind of be like, yeah, there's some issues with this movie.
That's fair enough.
It's just a bit weird. You should do. You cut out the Disney name, right? You release it under one of the smaller production companies. And you release it like a horror film, like this dude just completely losing his mind, like talking to stuffed animals and just completely going crazy. And then at the end, you reveal that it's Christopher Robin.
That's like when you did you did another movie like that too.
I'm not saying that though on camera because I think it's still a genius movie. Yeah, absolutely. So that's it, Christopher Robin.
I love it. We also did a review for
Bo Burnham's 8th Grade, a movie that kind of came out of nowhere, a much smaller movie that I'm really excited to talk about, so go check out that review. And next week we're back here to talk about
Megalodon. A megalodon. Shark.
You ever seen
prehistoric.
The Jaws of a Megalodon?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, because here in Las Vegas.
On the internet.
Oh, no, I mean in person, man. Here in beautiful Las Vegas, we have the Natural History Museum, which is downtown, like 2 minutes away from Fremont. They have a cast of what a megalodon's jaw size would be, and I could stand in it and still not reach.
That's insane.
It's quite scary. And for those who know I love Jaws, it's a big movie, that one of my top 10 films of all time. It's a movie that made a big influence on me. Sharks terrify me. So what can you do that makes it more terrifying? You make a bigger shark.
And then you add Jason Statham in it.
That could be scary. Hopefully it's more entertaining in that sense. But it's a movie I think everyone's kind of looking forward to. Did you see the VR thing? They put a VR advertisement on Facebook that was pretty cool.
For Meg?
Yeah. And like, even though I don't have VR, I had to do it like it's like the 360 cam.
Yeah, you move your phone.
Yeah, it was still really cool. It was a good little teaser. So I mean, they're pumping. It seems like they're pumping a lot production-wise. I mean, I don't think they spent much making it, but they're pumping a lot marketing-wise. So make sure to join us here at AMC Town Square, 10 o'clock next week to see that movie.
ChasingSome.com's donate.
The Film Lovers website.